Good morning. A little bit later than usual today, but we're going to crack on and have a look into some Bitcoin price analysis. As you can see, we're still range bound for now. But we'll have a look at Bitcoin and we'll go through some majors as usual. As ever, wait for a few people to jump on the stream and then we'll get straight into it. Morning everybody in chat, how we doing? Let's get cracking anyway. So, Bitcoin, we came up to test that. If you watch a stream yesterday, I did say about this key area. Let's just jump into a 4 hour. I said about this region here we need to break through. We did actually break through it, but we didn't close above it. As you can see, we are looking like we're rolling over a little bit, which isn't the best scenario, but if you look at back on the daily, we have paced through it twice now. We don't want a third rejection, or we're going to come back down to this mid-range. I'm only looking for longs, really. I said yesterday on the stream that I was looking for a long, and I'll put that set up again. I'm looking for a breakout above this 40,800 level, and then I want to target this region. Where's my box? I want to target this region here, around 42,300, so that's around there. I'm looking to target that region for a potential long. Once we do breakthrough that, I'm looking for a breakthrough like this, a rejection from that region, and then use this area support. Hopefully that will be a nice solid region to place along, and then we can go up and test this region around 45k. So probably a little bit of leverage on that, and we'll see what goes on. But that's a potential setup I had yesterday, and I opened with breakthrough today, but I mean today's still young, so there's a good chance that we could break through that at some stage today. Remember, it's only one candle that we need to break through and close above there. I mean, on the daily is where we'll be best looking at it, but if we look on the lower time frames, looks like we're just clinging on to this level, doesn't it? I mean, we're not touching it bang on, but there's some nice areas here where I think people are looking for longs and trying to push this through now. I do think what we are doing is gearing up for that next move up, so hopefully today, probably get a bit of a random bullish news like that sailors purchase more Bitcoin, and something that small will just send the price up. We do know that we've he's purchasing another further $1 billion, which is quite a significant amount. He's secured that $500 million investment too. So hopefully, yeah, some bullish news over the next few days can push up. Really, we need to close above 40,800 for this coming weekend, because we know weekends are coming up, and there's FOMC is happening this week. Let me have a... I think it's this week. Can't spell. Yeah, it's Federal Reserve Board this week, this Thursday. And they always usually hammer Bitcoin, so remember this Thursday could get a little bit nasty. I think it's this Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. It's... what date are we on? Yeah, so we've got that coming up, so that could cause a bit of drama on Thursday. So potential trading before that, but not on that date, because Thursday could be quite a crazy day. Right, so that's Bitcoin pretty much covered in terms of what I expect and what I want. If what happens is we reject from here, there's a good chance we're going to come back down and test this week at 38k. And that could even happen on this move. Let's have a look where that is in terms of a Fibonacci level. Yeah, so that's around this region. We could come down and test this before we do start to pop up. So there's always a chance that could happen if we... where's my brush? Could come back down, test this region around here, and then push back up and break through. So that's a potential scenario too. So we've either got this one breaking through, retest, or we've got this 38% retracement test before we do push up. Because, I mean, this move, we've not seen much relief really. We're pretty much consolidating at top of its range now. It's either waiting for a break up or a breakdown. So two potential scenarios. I can see us breaking through on both scenarios, but it just depends whether we get that high range or that lower range before we do break through. Do you think Sailor wants to enter this price on maybe for an entry at 25 to 30k? I think he's happy pretty much buying within this range. It might, you never know, there might be a bit of FUD which gets him to getting cheaper. That's what usually happens with these big players. Create a bit of panic, wait for a price to drop and then buy it up. So you might get a bit of FUD which brings us down to this region, or even down to this mid-range at 35k. But we just need to see what goes on, don't we, really? So that's pretty much Bitcoin covered. Look at Ethereum, see what's going on here. Actually a little bit up to down on ETH. Bounced off this mid-range. This mid-range has been absolutely solid for ETH over the course of the last, I mean, we did drop below it once, but it's held up very well. Like 2,200 has been a nice support region for ETH, and as you can see, we've used it as support here, support here, support here, and all the way through. So I think that's looking quite good. It's held up well against most coins, and we've not seen any trading within this region apart from that wick when we had that crazy sell, but we soon reacted and came back up to a higher range. So I think if you're looking for some buys on ETH, the market is looking in favourable of ETH at a minute, and BTC. The two high majors are starting to gain some ground. So I mean, if you're looking for potential buys, you could always target this 382 level here at 2493. But I think ultimately we will start pushing up, test this level. I think we're going to go up and test 2900 at some point. Who knows? I mean, over the course of maybe not this week, but over the next coming weeks, I think we should definitely go back up and test at higher range. As you can see, we rejected off it so many times. 2900 about 4 times, so that's a key area. A lot of key areas for most altcoins, if you look at them all, we're all within that trading range, and we have that higher level which they're struggling to break through, but we will break through at some point. It's not all doom and gloom. Epro and New up. Never heard of them, mate. Right, so that's the two majors pretty much covered. Just looking at ETH, remember, if you're looking for buys, potentially 2493, and we could always come down and test that 2293 as well. That's a potential support level. Let's just have a look at this def cost that everyone's been talking about the last few weeks, actually. Everyone seems to be mental about that def cross, especially with bears. It's starting to widen a bit now, to be honest. Not had a crossover on their moving averages since pretty much May of last year. So we had that COVID dump then. We had a bullish cross. It looks like we're coming down. A few people were thinking this was going to happen, which is not always a good indicator. Some people were thinking this was going to happen, and then this, and I get a bearish cross, and then the price would drop. But I can't see that happening, to be honest. Even if we did get a cross, it wouldn't swing me into a bearish phase. I think the only reason which I would swing bearish is if we did lose that support there at 30k. But so far, I was looking okay for me. We've actually, look at this. We're actually rejecting off this higher range, and it's pretty much bang on that EMA 200 at minute. So I think if we do push forward and close above that EMA 200, and I think things will start to look a bit better, because currently we're under that 200 moving average, which is not the best for Bitcoin. I mean, we've not been down there since March of 2020, so regaining a level above that EMA 200 will be a very bullish sign. How you doing, Tim? What am I listening to? Some absolute shite on Spotify. Gaming and Twitch, no copyright music. Last few streams I've done, I've been hammered for copyright, even though playing non-copyright tracks. So I've tried something different today. Just sound a bit shit, to be honest, doesn't it? But be right. So that's Bitcoin pretty much covered. Closure above that 200 is what we're looking for. If you look right in, zoom in, 2 rejections off at EMA 200, and let's see there, it is working quite well because we have acted as support there, so it's going to be a crucial level to get above this, and if we do push above it, happy days, we can start pushing on. Yeah, turn up music. So that's that covered. Will Bitcoin undergo a correction incoming due to the big pump? What big pump, mate? I'm not seeing a big pump yet. Bitcoin's already done a massive correction. If you have a look on the daily, we did like a 54% drop, so that's your correction there. This is the consolidation. We need to get above that EMA 200 and get out of this range. Currently in Chop City, range bounding. Once we do close above that, I think it's going to be a nice gradual slow move back up towards around August, September time, and I think at some point then we can start looking at maybe not the all-time highs, maybe if we just move that, drag it around there a bit. I think that's going to be a nice steady rise. You might get a bit of an initial pump from Bitcoin and then a little bit of a sell-off, because I think BTC dominance, let's get video moving averages. Bitcoin dominance dropped like a lead balloon all the way down to 40%, and we pretty much saw no relief. So this is relief you're getting now. And I'm still expecting BTC to go on a bit of a run. Altcoins suffer a little bit and go back up to test this 52% region before we do get a rejection around August, September, and then let altcoins run. But let's see how that plays out. Let's have a look at Ethereum BTC as well. That's held up pretty well on that crash. I don't think your Plutus card is ever arriving, buddy. Morning, Dan. Time to sell alts into BTC. It's up to you, mate. If you're wanting to grow some BTC, why the hell not? I mean, I think what would be a good sign to sell some alts into BTC if we did break through this resistance level here and carried on, because I think currently at 44% we've had a slight rejection here, but if BTC goes on a run and leaves alts in the Satoshi pairs behind, I think if you did get a break above this, it might be a good idea maybe to sell some alts into BTC to inevitably change that BTC back into alt. So it's a good way of accumulating Bitcoin and altcoins using Bitcoin. But just monitor that. If we do get BTC going on a run pushing above 42k, I think this could be a good area to maybe, if we break through that region, sell alts into BTC, ride it up to around here, 52%. I mean, there's always a possibility we could go up to 57, but I can't see it. But you never know. And these two areas could be a good area to sell then BTC back into alts, and then ride it back down to the depth going in towards the end, I don't know, Q4 maybe of this year. Things might start to push on. Long or short being wrecked. To be honest, mate, I'm not massive into trading. I just prefer investments. So, I mean, if I were looking to trade now, I've just mentioned it at the beginning of the stream, I would only be having the eyes on BTC. I'll just put the setup guide back on. So, as you can see, we're currently range bound. We've hit this level here again at 40,800, and it's indecisive at the minute. I mean, we could get a rejection. So there's two potential scenarios what could happen here, in my opinion. So if you look at this entire move here, we could either get a rejection from this level down to 382 or 618, so potential longs at 38600 or 3700, more likely to be this level. But you never know, 618 is the golden ratio, so we could come down to here, and then we could break through and then target this 42k region, so that's a potential scenario. Or if you look at this region around here, 42k, which we'll put on top of that fib, around that region, if we do break through over the next few days or even today, I'm looking for a break up, a rejection of 42k, and then I would potentially open a long from 40,800 if we did come back down to retest it and then push up. So two scenarios there. We either break through, reject off 42k, come back down and retest this region, and then that gives me a good reason to open a long, because that would be then resistance flip to support. Or we do not break through, currently. We reject down to either 38,600 or 37,000, and then we break up from there. But hopefully one of those two options happens. XLM. Shall we have a look at XLM? Not looked at that for a while. What time frame are you looking at? A breakout on a triangle there, mate? It's not the most bullish of pendants, that, to be honest. I mean, you could say that is pretty much a trend line acting as support, but yeah, won't be looking at a triangle there on the daily. We are starting to uptrend. I mean, if you look at this on the daily, it's not had much of a recovery compared to some other coins. We've had that massive drop. What do we drop? Dropped 65%, and to be honest, it's not stood up really well. I mean, pretty much from there we're downtrending all the way down, so we really need to look at targeting this region to break through. But yeah, it's not looking too healthy, that, to be honest. If you're looking for some buys, I'd look down at 31.8 cent. Could be a nice region to place some orders. Pick some up there and then try and break through this downtrend, because you need to break through that downtrend soon, because it's just going to keep dropping. I mean, it's rejected off this so many times all the way down. A lot of alts, I mean, if you look at Matic, it had such a massive, I think it did like 250% rise, and it shot back up to these regions. I know it's sold off quite a bit recently, but it's not looking too good. XLM there, to be honest. Where's the chill hop? It's on now. This is the chill hop. Royalty free chill hop. I got to do it over shit because old Tim's fucking hammering me. Oh, pendant, not pendant. No, I'm crap at formations and stuff like that. Federal rebirth. That's just absolute savage, isn't it? I'll put a fib on that. That absolutely died, didn't it? So many people fell out and lost their love for that. We dropped 93%. Absolutely ridiculous. But let's have a gander. I mean, if you're looking for buys, I think anything under 20 cent is decent. But on a nice bit of a rise there, aren't we? Found some bottom there at 11 cent. Maybe if you're looking for some buys, you could potentially look at this region, 16 cent. Remember, everything doesn't keep going up in a straight line. If you look here, where's my brush? So this will start a move, we come back. You move up in waves, don't you? So potentially could come back down, test this 382 level, and then push back up. So that's potential setup. Remember, at 618 level is always at 14.4 cent. So that's a potential level for you to look at targeting. At least it's making a nice bounce back. I really should have a bit of a top on that, to be honest. Bring my average order down, because my average order was here, I think, 43 cents. So I'm currently in the red, which most people probably are. But fundamentally, nothing's changed. Probably not the best launch of that staking platform, was it? But it's new tech. new project, so you got to be forgiveful sometimes. Yeah, so if you're looking for some buys, maybe down at that region, 16.4 cent, could be a nice area to pick some up. Still holding 10 cent. No, I'm not, mate. I sold my 10 cent. Said in channel when I sold it. Let's just have a look. So we was on my rise, and I was holding my 10 cent all the way through here, all the way through. News of Gate.io listing was around here, and I sold mine at about $5.15 around here. Then obviously it kept going on. I thought, oh shit, what's going on? It's going to continue, and then we got that listing day, bang, rejection, and that happens so many times. You get all this hype about listings and exchanges where Gate.io, it's not a massive exchange, is it? I mean, I think it's in top 10 now in terms of volume, but it's not a major exchange, is it? And it had that sell-off, a little bit of fear crept in, update slowed down a little bit, and it just did eventually drop off. So I've sold mine. I've kept a little bit, kept a moon bag just in case it does fly, but yeah, shit happens, doesn't it? Managed to get some nice profit out of that. Actually, I'll put all my profit into Swissborg and earning some daily awards and that, so that bonus. Yeah, what else did somebody say about XRP? Not a massive fan of XRP, but let's have a quick gander here. If you've lost, mate, I won't worry about it. He'll go back up at some stage, just hodl. As long as they don't end up disappearing like some projects do. So, XRP, let's have a look here. Not done the XRP analysis for yonks. We'll have that as the lower range. Higher range, let's just move them. We'll keep it there. That's a high range, as you can see. A few rejections off that region. And that's a mid-range. It looks like we're clinging onto that mid-range quite well. Every time we lose it, we pretty much shoot straight back up. Again, we lost it within this region, shot back up. So that is your level of support there, about 85 cent. I think if you're looking for buys, 85 cent is a decent level, considering that this year we've been up to $1.96. So you've got a fair old chunk of discount there. Let's just drop down to it hourly. Yeah, that 618 level of that entire move is around 83, 85 cents. So that's probably your decent area to buy. In terms of target, so you've got to be looking at this wick here to break through. In fact, there, we'll go for that bit. First level to break through is around 92 cents. I mean, obviously you got this region around here, which is all them wicks and quite a bit of trade in that region. So if you're looking for take profits, maybe if you're looking to trade, I don't know, maybe even open a bit of a long position from down here on this middle support. Quite a tight stop loss around that region, around 5%. Look to target our first region's 8% and you've got 12% of there. That's when no leverage. So bit of a potential setup there if you're looking to long the fuck out of XRP. I'm actually now long on XRP, I think. I longed it around these wicks here. I was hoping it pushed through. It actually died off at first and I thought, oh, we're going to get liquidated. But I'm actually using USDM, I think it's called. You know, on Binance where you can long the coins. I'm actually longing. I had some XRP on there. Not much, about 80 bucks, and I think I put a long about 5x on it. So nice bit of growth there. Psycho Forex trading. Not a big fan of Forex traders, but some of them are class traders, aren't they? BTC dropping a bit. Yeah, I mean, like I say, it's just reluctant to get through that area of resistance, isn't it, 4,800. See if it comes down here. I think if it does pop down to 386, maybe set a couple of longs up within that range or that range. I think it would be a nice area to long that. I'm also a massive fan of that 382 level. It just seems to hit so many times. Let's see if that plays out there, and then see if we can target that region. If there's any altcoins you'd like me to have a look at, fire them in comments and I'll fire into them. B Pro. So many people come on stream and ask for B Pro. It's been savaged on it. It's the most nasty looking chart in crypto. That's just horrific, isn't it? It's like constant sell off. The biggest downtrend since Donald Trump. That is nasty. It's within this range, if you look at down here, it's pretty much coming down to a full retracement since February. But if you look around here, it does show that we have got quite a lot of liquidity, which is a positive sign. If you look at this trading area around here, we are in that, what you could say, I don't know, it could be the accumulation zone now. We've seen that major drop down. There was no trading pretty much within this region here to that region, and all it's been is selling pressure all the way down. So it does show that we have come into quite a solid area of liquidity now. So I think if you're looking to buy, or if you're scared and you're looking to sell, it's probably the best time to hodl, really. I think this it is a lot of liquidity within that range. We had pretty much 6 solid weeks of trading there, and that's what's going on here now. I think it just looks like it's a accumulation period, and if you're looking to buy some, probably the area to look at now. But we need to regain this area up here. Is the next major area. Otherwise, if we drop from it, it's going to be down shit's creek. But that's the first area to look at. You need to look at 0.015 cents to break through. VeChain. I was just about to look at VeChain. VeChain was one of my biggest holds. I think it's about my second biggest hold now. And when I saw that drop, I thought, fuck. 82% that dropped for no reason at all. I think one of the reasons is a lot of new investors come to the space and they actually like what VeChain's doing. They see some massive partnerships and they all bought in. But then we had that massive drop on Bitcoin, and basically all new investors shit themselves and watch the price drop down to pretty much 5 cents. God, that's mental considering we've been up to 28. So that was quite a severe sell-off, but it's bounced up pretty well. Use this lower range, nice, and then we're struggling. We're pretty much glued to this mid-range now. If you look at the entire move from the bottom of range to the top of range, we've used this 68% retracement level a lot. Bounced off it here, and then each week we've had 4 weeks within this level now, and we've bounced back up, and we've actually shot above this this mid-range support now. So I think if you're looking for buys, this is a region to maybe look at. 11 cent on the nose, and then let's see if we can push up and start to target this region here. We need to target that wick at 13.6 cents, probably the next thing. In fact, this wick here, need to target that one. We'll leave that on, and let's see if we can target that first bit there at 12.2 cent. That's the first area to break through. Flip that to support. So here's a potential setup. We've done that parabolic move to the upside, 61% retracement, and now we're looking to break through here. you might get a rejection back down to that region, and then we might push on. So let's see if that plays out. What do you think about the fundamentals of economy? I've never actually looked into it, mate, so I can't really say. Oh, Evido. I'm a big holder of Evido. Not even checked the price for a while. But let's have a look. Same scenario here. We're pretty much range bound on the lower time frame now. Should I say the lower liquidity is there. We had so much trading within this area back in February all the way to March. Lots of trading, and we did eventually break out. Similar scenario here. Chop City trading within this range pretty much since 20th of May. I think just we need a little bit of marketing more behind them, and I think that once more people know about this project, it will fly, because it's what they've got going is absolutely solid. That's a potential setup I had. We could keep bouncing even within this range now before we do break out, but if you're looking to accumulate, now is a perfect time, because we do know we've been up to $1.07. Currently down at 21 cents, so a massive discount here. So if I get any fivers found down back at SETI, I'll be throwing it into there. What are my top 3 holdings? Let me look at my portfolio. This is my portfolio here. Got rid of value so you can't see them, but I'm up a fair old chunk on some of them. Turno is actually my biggest holding at the minute. Decent P&L on that. That's what happens when you're getting an IDO. VeChain second biggest holding, up 890% currently. Zilliqa third biggest holding, up 500%. Polkadot up 400%. Evido is my 5th biggest holding. I bought that down on the ground. Bought that when it pretty much first come out. And then just ignore some of these down here. Tell you what's bad, my on Federal Reserve 68% down, that one, absolute savage one. A few bits of Ready-Made refinance, I'm still holding a little bit of that. Bought some chilies recently, that's slightly down 10%. Ignore that percentage on Centivate, I'm way up on that, but I think I fucked it up when I've added it in. There's some shit down here at the bottom I need to get rid of. That's just in my main portfolio, and I've got a few other portfolios. I've got a Swiss Borg portfolio. And some other shit coins down there which I never really look at. But that's what I'm holding. That's my biggest holds at the minute. Really it was them 3 until Turno came along. But they're currently my 3 biggest bags. T-Fuel to $1. What's it currently sat at? What is it, 52 cents? Yeah, $1 a litre up, mate. Easy peasy. Not actually looked into Theta as much as I should have done, really. I got offered it when it first came out to go onto a platform and do streaming on there, but turned it down like a dickhead, didn't I? It lost 10k to Bermuda Triangle. Lovely. What we're looking at, Matic. Let's have a look at Matic. I've been meaning to buy some Matic as well, I think. Let's have a look. Oh, we've had a good bounce here, haven't we? I was looking for some buys at this 382 level at 130.9, but it's obviously grown some legs on it and started to push on. I had no ranges on this. Like I say, with a lot of altcoins, we had that high range, that low range, or mid range, where Matic just goes up beyond all belief, doesn't it? I mean, I remember we had that massive crash, it pretty much did that big V-shaped recovery straight away. I think a lot of people thought we were going to go up to highs. and then we've had a gradual sell-off. You could say now that we have broken out of a downtrend and we're broken to the upside, which is what we've been looking for. Not too sure what this level is here, so let's get rid of it. No idea what that is as well. So yeah, things are looking good there in terms of where we should be at and where we should be targeting. We're currently sat around that wick, aren't we? Look at this wick here, which is pretty much that wick. Let's mark that level up. I think that's the first area to get through. That means we'll show that we've done a full recovery from that latest drop. So let's just have a look if we're direct from that region. Because remember, it looks like, yeah, we double topped. We dropped our way down to pretty much $1.15. Bouncing back up now. So if we do reject again from this region, you might look at getting some buys within this area. Around 151. If it does drop down to that golden ratio, I'm buying some, but I can't see it, to be honest. But if it does, I might have some orders set primed. Why Bitcoin dominance increase? Because it was dropping and it had no reaction all the way down, and now it's having some reaction. Like I say, if you look at this, ignore all the lines because it's a bit fucking messy. So look on weekly. We had such a significant drop. I mean, we only consolidated in one region at 62% and then bang, straight back down. We have double bottomed here. And ultimately, Bitcoin is king, isn't it? So Bitcoin, it's having a bit of a sell-off here, isn't it? But yeah, Bitcoin ultimately needs to regain some market dominance. It was down at 40%. It is actually pushing up now. It's actually dropping off as we speak. This is a key area. I mean, look at how we rejected right off that area of resistance. Really need. I think it's going to flip that area to support at some point over the next week or two, and we might push back up to this region at 52%. So if you're looking to stack some sats, it could be a good reason to sell some alts into BTC, ride that up, if it does happen, and then sell BTC into alts and ride it back down. Because ultimately, I think over this probably Q3, Q4, I think we're going to see some major altcoin action towards the end of the year. But a second pig stalled him, oh yeah, just hodl, mate. At the end of the day, you can be a very successful trader, but you can also be a very successful investor by just holding. Hold long term and you'll be massive. You are. Can I look at IOTA? Sure can, mate. I think you need to make yourself known if you're in my Telegram group or Discord, because you keep doing all timestamps for me, so I need to say thanks. So IOTA currently daily time frame. We've had that major push to the upside here. Obviously, we've had a pullback like most altcoins, which is nothing to worry about. We've dropped down, did a 74% drop, but we are now in what you would say is a consolidation zone. If we drop to a 4 hour, I think we can pretty much bang a higher and a lower range within this. So that's a higher range, that's the lower range. I mean, we've pretty much held within this mid-range support quite well. I think if you're looking for some buys, this is going to be the region around $1. $1 is a natural level of support. As you can see a wick there. Lots of wicks acting as support and resistance around here. If you're looking for some buys, potentially 618 level is around that mid-range, so potential buys there before we do start to push on. So you've got a potential move like this, and then we could go up and test this region where you can see these wicks around there, and you got those wicks up there. So they're potential moves for you if the market does allow. But as long as it stays above that mid-range, I think it's going to be happy days, and hopefully we can start to get some good growth soon. Don't do ERG because training. Let's go ERG. BTC dumping. Not really dumping. It's just a bit of price action, isn't it? If you look at it on minute time frame, it's probably dumping, but depends. People always say, "Oh, it's dumping, oh, it's pumping," but it depends what time frame you look at, doesn't it? I mean, looking at 4 hour, absolutely nothing's happening really. It's just a bit of a candle to the downside. In terms of investments, I won't even. I'd zoom out if I were you, mate. What we're going to look at then, ERG. So ERG it's held up pretty well, really, hasn't it? There. Use that 61% retracement level as solid support there. If you look at end time move from that bottom wick to a top wick, we've bounced back here. And if you're looking for buys, this is your buy zone. If a market does sell off, you may get some orders filled down at 585, but I think that would be a big market sell. So I think currently buys around this region are probably your best bet. At that 618 level, which is $8.67. But if we just look at the 4 hour. Yeah, not much going on there. I think we need to look at targeting this range here as a first major target to get through, which is $10. It's a nice psychological area. $10 is there as well. We got a double top there, and then it rejected. So $10 is a tough way to get through, but it's what you got to push through. I'll just cover one more project when I get off. Busy day today, so if you got any projects, fire them in comments, and that'll be it today. Cover one more, shall we? KSM. Okay. KSM will be the last project. And then I'm off ski. So KSM's held up pretty well. I mean, it's had a really nice recovery from that major dip that we've had. As you can see, on the way up on this trend line, we have creating a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So in terms of structure, that's solid. So I mean, it's looking good. It's not a million miles from the all-time high, is it? I mean, 50%, that's nothing in crypto. So I've got this level marked up here, this red level. It must be an area of support, yeah. So as you can see, we've used this area of support quite a lot, and I think if you're looking for some buys, I'll still target some within this area. I mean, if you look at this on the hourly, but using that 61% retracement level as support. So I think if you're looking for buys, it's either going to be that region or this 786 at $400. I think $400 is a nice region to get in, and then we've got to look at breaking above 450. But yeah, that's looking quite bullish, even though the lower time frames are looking a slight bearish. That's good for getting some orders filled. So sound, that's going to do it for today. If you're new here, please make sure that you are subscribed. Hit that like button. Only 34 of you liked that, so smash that like button. And I will catch you next time. I'll be doing another stream in the morning, probably about 9 o'clock GMT. So if you're around, jump on that. I'll probably post the link for that stream tonight, and then you can add it to your watch list. So yeah, cheers for everybody tuning in. I'll catch you next time.